Hello and welcome to the Virtual Racing League, live tonight from the Phoenix Raceway here in Arizona for the second to last race of the season, and drivers trying to qualify in for the championship round next week at Chicagoland. There's 2 spots left up for grabs, and some of the drivers out here having a good showing already in practice that need to win to qualify in. Let's take a look at our points as the drivers enter tonight's race. We have 2 drivers already advanced by wins in this current round. That is Conor Horn winning last week at Homestead, and the week before it was Vincent Arthur at Bristol locking himself in, holding off Keith Mayato for a photo finish there. Behind them, it's Alec Martinez and Dylan Parker currently holding the positions to transfer to the championship round, but drivers not too far on the outside there, and Adam Cabot, AJ Stravato, and Jeff Wright, very possible for all of them to point their way into the next round tonight. But Yusuf Ghali back there, he is pretty far out of it in terms of points. I'm not sure he's going to be able to advance on points alone. He will have to win the race, and right now he is the man on the top of the practice leaderboard, currently running at 26.699. Very quick lap time there, but he has a good showing already in tonight's race. And the track here in Phoenix, a very interesting racetrack. As we take a look at Adam Cabot making his way back onto the speedway, there's this dog leg on the back straightaway, very unique to this racetrack, and older configurations did not have that, but you are able to cut it about as much as you want in the configuration we're running here tonight. And since iRacing has not updated the speedway, the start finish line is actually between, it is on the straightaway there rather than coming out of the turn like you see on our small graphic. Tonight's race is going to be 125 laps around this 1 mile racetrack. There are 4 corners here. As Adam Cabot makes his way out of turn number 4, he'll head down the front straightaway here across the start finish line into turn number 1. Very flat corner down on this end of the racetrack, actually both ends really, and it's going to be very interesting as these guys try and work their way around and find their passing opportunities on this racetrack. And we will have a caution for a stage on lap 50, so that'll mix things up in terms of strategy. Some drivers will most likely be aiming to earn points there, and the valuable playoff point that comes with winning that stage as well. So very excited to get things going here tonight as the drivers currently getting ready to go out there for qualifying. Let's see how they stack up as Alec Martinez, the end of the pit lane, he's going to get rolling here, and we'll follow along with Alec as he makes his way onto the racetrack. And let's take a look at the conditions on the track tonight. 67 degree air temp, so not too hot here in the desert, but the track temp under that sun, 101 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's going to be pretty slick, I think, for some of these guys. And tire wear definitely an issue at this racetrack. You're going to want to preserve the tires. As you can see, Alec already slinging that thing around the corners here on the outlap. He gets right up next to that outside wall and cuts it down here on a low exit. And it's looking like we're running the low downforce package here, so 750 horsepower and the low downforce. What a lap there, 27.034. Actually going to be good enough for 5th fastest. I think he's still getting up to speed for his fast lap, which is going to come right here. Eli Hinton currently sitting on that top spot. Blaze McKinney in the 87 in second position, just 39 1/1000ths off. And Alec, you can see the big correction there. He comes across the line that time, a 26.695. That'll be good for fastest. And the driver we need to watch is Yusuf Ghali, who was fastest in practice and needs the win here tonight as he is out on the racetrack. Getting that car up to speed here. I believe this is his first timed lap the number 54 TRD Camry. And the car's definitely sliding around. You can see how hard he's working in there to keep that thing pointed in the right direction. 26.81 is going to be his lap time, and that's the only lap he will put in. That'll be good for 7th fastest. Not going to be as happy with that as I'm sure he was in the practice session. Another driver below the cut line coming in, AJ Stravato. He puts in a 26.75, which will be good for 4th fastest, so good lap time there from the driver of the number 33. And we do want to welcome you to the broadcast here tonight on V-Speed. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't joined us here before, we are a sim racing team and also provide broadcasting services as well as design services and other sim racing related services. You can check out our website at vspeedsim.com. You can find us at all these different social media outlets on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, where we post announcements before each and every broadcast, as well as other interesting automotive and racing content. And you can also find us on YouTube, where we post race replays, and we will be uploading last week's race right after this one. We had some trouble getting it from the Twitch servers, but we finally got it, and we will be putting that up tonight, so you won't want to miss that one. A great battle between Keith Mayato and Conor Horn. Conor ultimately taking away his 7th win of the victory last week, but you're going to want to go back and watch that. It was a fantastic race among those drivers, and looking forward to another great one here as Elliott Butler coming across the line. He puts in a 26.75. Looking at Jeff Wright now, who's getting out on the racetrack, and I think he will be able to get at least one lap time in as he gets that number 48 machine up to speed. It's looking like it probably will be just the one lap. As he comes across the line here to start his timed lap. Let's see if anyone else is out on the racetrack. Looks like he is the only one. Quite a few drivers not going to take a lap time as the 48 brushes the wall. That is not going to count. He will not get a time in, so only 14 drivers putting in a lap time here tonight. And once again, this is the second to last race of the season. Next week is going to be the finale at Chicagoland, and really looking forward to that one. We've had some great races at the 1.5 miles in Chicagoland. Very interesting 1.5 miles. Pretty similar to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, but some key differences which make the racing very entertaining there. As we are now going to head to our qualifying grid, let's take a look at where your favorite drivers are starting here tonight. Starting on the pole, it'll be Alec Martinez looking to lock himself into the championship round. He's had a great season, your regular season champion, as he looks to get some playoff points, some bonus points by starting up front here tonight. Dylan Parker rolling off on the front row as well. He's looking to advance both of the drivers inside the cut line, starting on the front row here tonight. Road number 2, Eli Hinton in the number 13 machine. Elliott Butler in 4th. In 5th position, it'll be AJ Stravato. 6th position, Adam Cabot. Both of those drivers looking to gain some serious points here tonight and make their way towards the front. The Magic Man looking for a little bit of magic to happen here in Phoenix tonight. Blaze McKinney rolling off in 7th. Eric Hutton going to be starting in the 8th position. Rolling off in the 9th spot, it'll be Yusuf Ghali, who is going to have to find something inside himself to get up there and try and take a win. Showed speed in practice. Not his best lap in qualifying there, but nonetheless in the top 10. Vincent Arthur already advanced. He's going to be rolling off in the 10th position. Chris Samard rolling off in 11th here tonight. Jeremiah Vincent starting in 12th. Ben Baffert, who was also quick in the practice session, rolling off in 13th. Taylor Butcher Benjamin rolling off in 14th. Conor Horn, who has 7 wins on the season, looking for another, starting in 15th. Jeff Wright going to be rolling off in the 16th position. He's looking to try and find a way to advance as well. Bailey Turner rolling off in 17th. Keith Mayato going to be rolling off in the 18th position. Angelo Horonis going to be rolling off in 19th. Elliott Carlson rounding out the top 20. In 21st, it'll be William Troy. 22nd will be Lane Sulfridge in the number 71 machine. And Lyle Sulfridge starting in the 23rd position. As the drivers, I believe, starting to roll off here. There we go. Perfect timing. And let us know who you are cheering for, your favorite driver. Comment them down in the chat. Let us know you're out there. We'll give you a shout out, give the drivers a shout out, and follow along with them throughout tonight's race. And once again, my name is Adam Baker, and I will be along with you for the ride here tonight. Welcome to V-Speed. We thank you for joining us in tonight's race. Really looking forward to what's going to happen around that cut line and who is going to be able to lock themselves in here tonight in the desert. As pace car going to roll off onto pit lane already. Alec Martinez getting ready to get us going. And green flag in the air. Martinez gets a great jump. He is already out in front of Dylan Parker, but Parker doing a good job trying to hang on to that second position. He'll get a good roll through 1 and 2. But Eli Hinton attacking down low in that dog leg, and we've already talked about that, how you can use the full racetrack, and that makes it very interesting. And there is money on the line here tonight. You can see in the chat, Reggie saying $80 for first, 40 for second, and 20 for third. These cutoff races have money associated, so drivers looking to maybe make a little money here in addition to having a good race. As Alec Martinez pulling away now, and we'll bring up our ticker so you can follow along with your favorite drivers. The 77 of Adam Cabot now attacking the inside of Dylan Parker as they roll through 3 and 4. And then behind them, Elliott Butler on the outside of AJ Stravato. Stravato looks to the inside down here in 1 and 2. Definitely the preferred lane on this end of the racetrack as he gets a big run out of the corner, and he'll dive down into the dog leg there. And at the front, Alec Martinez under fire from Eli Hinton in the 13, showing speed early on here. But how hard do you push this early in the race, knowing the track temp is high and the tires are going to wear very quickly? And once again, the stage is at lap number 50. So that could be a big part of the strategy as Martinez up high. Here comes Hinton. A good run down low into turns 3 and 4 right on the yellow line. And he's going to take that spot away. And Martinez looks to try and cut back underneath him. But here comes Adam Cabot with the big run out of turn number 4. He'll get alongside the quarter panel. Martinez going to back off and let him go and try and set him up here for the next set of corners. And Dylan Parker still hanging tough up high. He's able to clear the 33 of Stravato, but stuck in the outside line the longer way around. He's now on the outside of Martinez, who didn't get a good run through the dog leg, but he'll hang on to that position. And at the front, Hinton under fire from Cabot. Magic Man moving forward. He's got about 2 car lengths to make up here to the 13. Didn't get a great run through 3 and 4. As back here, it looks like Yusuf Ghali starting to move forward. He showed that speed, and here it comes early on in this race. He's bringing Blaze McKinney with him in the number 87 machine as they work their way through the dog leg. And out of turn number 4, the 87 of McKinney, a good run. He'll get into the top 5. That shuffles Dylan Parker, who has been unable to get down to the low line, back to the 6th position. And Stravato losing spots as well. He's back to 7th as the 9 able to clear him now. He'll be able to use the low line. But Dylan Parker, who needs these points, he's 5 points above the cut line. And every point here in this first stage going to matter a whole lot for that driver. He's currently not in a points-paying position. It's Yusuf Ghali, a big dive to the inside underneath Alec Martinez. He'll take away 3rd position. And here comes the 54, hard charging early on in this race, only 8 laps in, and he is up 6 positions. Didn't have a great qualifying effort, starting in 9th. Out of about 14 drivers that qualified, we expected more after he put up the fastest time in practice, but now he's showing the race pace that he has as he's right on the back bumper of Cabot, who gets a bit loose in front of him. The 77 going to dive it to the dog leg, keeps the foot on the throttle. As they go too wide at the front, Cabot down low on the yellow line. Here comes Gali right behind him. And the 13 of Hinton going to lose the lead for the moment. As across the line, it will be Cabot leading the way by just a tiny margin, and that's probably going to do it though for Eli Hinton's stint at the lead, as here goes the 77 and the 54 right on pass through the dog leg. And those top three showing speed. Alec Martinez, who started on the pole, he's back to 4th position after only leading a few laps there. Behind him, Blaze McKinney in the top 5, and Dylan Parker started in 2nd. He's back to 6th. A bit farther back, looks like Chris Samard battling with his teammate there in Keith Mayato. They go side by side, 15th and 16th. One of the few battles on the racetrack other than closer to the front. As in front of them, Ben Baffert, Jeremiah Vincent, the 8, looked like he was going to try and make the move, but not going to be able to get there just yet. In front of them, Bailey Turner and Eric Hutton. So 88 a little bit loose on entry into turn number 1. He follows Vincent Arthur, who's already qualified in the 5 machine, running in the 10th position. He has no worries on his shoulders, and neither does Conor Horn, who rides in front of him. Conor already up 6 positions as well. The first 12 laps, the McDonald's number 42, as he gets a good run out of turn 4. Takes a peek to the inside of the 6 machine of Elliott Butler. And here he goes down into turn 1. I think Elliott can give him the room to run. And the 42 trying to hook that yellow line. Not a great run out of turn 2, but he has that preferred inside lane, the shorter route across the back straightaway. And he will remain alongside the number 6 machine. Is at the front. The top 3 starting to break away. As Alec Martinez over 1 second behind your leader. Cabot doing his best to hold off the 54. Both drivers looking for some stage points here, which will be very useful. I think Yusuf Ghali basically has to win the stage if he's not going to win the race. That's really his only way of getting in, and he's going to have to hope for bad luck for the other drivers below the cut line, because he is well behind them. But down the back straightaway here, not really much of a straightaway. The 54, a good run. He peeks down to the inside, trying to spook the 77 a little bit. Not going to happen as Cabot hangs on to it. Still a car length and a half now, 2 car lengths as they march down the front straightaway into turn number 1. 77 a bit wider entry, but he's starting to open up that gap over Yusuf Ghali. Meanwhile, back here, Conor Horn up to 8th position. AJ Stravato looking to the inside of Blaze McKinney, who's lost a position here, as Dylan Parker has gone on past him back into the top 5. And Stravato now, big dive to the inside. He's going to give a tap to the 87. Shoves him up the racetrack. Blaze McKinney hanging on to it. Here comes Conor Horn. He'll probably drive right on past here through the dog leg. So 87 still trying to get his momentum back up from that. But Stravato very aggressive. We've seen him do that kind of move throughout the season. Making contact usually doesn't result in any kind of an incident, but definitely an aggressive dive bomb there into turn 1 as he takes that position away behind them. We saw some battles going on here. The 23 of Baffert, who's so quick in practice, he goes well up the racetrack, now back to 19th position. Really the last car in the front pack, and William Troy, the Sulfridges, and Elliot Carlson all over 10 seconds behind. Another driver who needs a good run here, Jeff Wright. Back here in 17th position. He rides behind Chris Samard and Angelo Ronis. And that 4 car, I believe, making his first start here on the broadcast, as he fights to hold on to 15th position between the V-Speed machines. Up a bit farther, Vincent Arthur marching through the field. He takes a position away from Elliott Butler, move into the 9th position. The 87 McKinney dropping, but he's still hanging on to the back of Conor Horn through the dog leg here. And top three continue to drive away as Eli Hinton, the third place car, only about 6.5 tenths behind your leader. And then it's a 1.6 second gap back to Alec Martinez in the fourth position. Dylan Parker stalking him. The top two on the grid back in fourth and fifth. And Stravato, he's now got a mirror full of Conor Horn as they work down the front straightaway. The gap just one car length between those drivers. And Conor up 9 positions already, looking to make that 10. And we know how important these points are for Stravato, who comes in below the cut line, tied for, I believe, 6th and 7th at 12 points below the cut line. As here comes the 87 looking to make a move, but he's not going to have any space to do it, as Conor Horn now up to 6th position. And Stravato drops back to 7th here, so not in a points paying position is not going to help him early on, while his competition in Adam Cabot looking to gain some very valuable points here, and Dylan Parker also in that position. Yusuf Ghali up here trying to hold on to the back bumper, but Cabot showing some serious speed in the opening stint. And this looks like it could be one of his better runs. We've seen him have some speed, but not able to really capitalize on that. And right now he is looking like he's got the quickest car consistently. The only car matching lap times really is the 54 of Yusuf Ghali. And last time by Alec Martinez was fastest on the racetrack. He is starting to reel these guys in. That gap from over 2.5 seconds now down to 1.7. So he must have been saving a little bit. That time by was 1.5 tenths faster than anyone else on the racetrack. So the 18 perhaps playing this the right way by saving the tires. Starting to reel in those top three. You can see out his windshield here. So delicate on the throttle, getting back up to speed. The car is definitely sliding all over the place. Definitely reeling in these guys that time by about 1/10 faster than your leader. And the gap down to 1.6 seconds. He is not bringing anyone with him though. He's coming on his own. Dylan Parker being left in the dust back here in 5th position. And Conor Horn not making up any time. He's already about 2/10 slower than the rest of the top 5. So I think he's used up a lot of the tires that he had here at the start of this race. Probably about as much forward progress as he's going to make here. And at the start of this, he'll need that reset at the end of the stage to have some more opportunities to move forward, as Martinez now 1.3 seconds back. And Yusuf Ghali has started to reel in Adam Cabot once again. That gap just 0.3 of a second. Eli Hinton still hanging right around the 0.7 margin. And he's got to see that 18 just charging up behind him. And Alec with a little bit of right front damage, so he has caught the wall here early on in this race, pushing that car very hard. It's so easy to do that as he does it right there into turn 1. But gets a good dive into the corner. He's only 4 or 5 car lengths behind the 13 machine. And the gap 1.1 seconds as he's still the fastest on the racetrack. And the top 4 have driven away from the rest of the field Take a look a little bit farther back. Some big battles going on here. Vincent Arthur starting to fade as he drops to 12th. Keith Mayato up to 11th, starting to march forward. We've seen him have some long run speed. Here comes Chris Samard to the inside of Jeremiah Vincent. That battle for 13th and 14th is Samard. It's a little bit loose down low, able to keep his foot on the throttle. And I think he'll be able to complete the pass here down in 3 and 4. The shorter route around that corner. He will slide up in front of Vincent. And here comes Jeff Wright trying to put the throttle down. Not able to get that power down as we've got a car spun. That's the 2 machine of William Troy around on the racetrack. Right here in front of your leaders now is caution out on the speedway. And let's go take a look at what happened to William to bring this one out. And we said it was going to be slippery here as William was running towards the back of the field. The car just loops around on him, nearly makes contact. Wow, so close to hitting. Oh, wow, close to hitting both of the Sulfridges. Lyle and Lane just barely squeaking on past. It looks like the 71 might have some right front damage. Let's go on board here as he was able to make his way around the spinning William Troy. Let's go on board with Lyle as well. The 2 car overcorrects a little bit. Man, so close to being hit there. Both of them. Great wreck avoidance to not make contact, and William able to stay off the wall as he goes to the back of the field now, and the rest of the drivers making their way onto the pit lane. That's not a very useful camera angle. As they roll into their stalls here, Adam Cabot nicely into his box. No need to back up or adjust. We'll see what kind of a pit stop he has here and if he can win the battle off the pit lane. Showing good speed early on. I'm sure he'd love to keep that track position. So he gets it rolling here. Here comes the 54 of Gali. Great pit stop from the 54. The 77 can't get up to speed. And Gali gonna win the battle off the pit lane. Alec Martinez is going to come out in the 3rd position. It's Dylan Parker in 4th. Conor Horn up to 5th. Eli Hinton, not a great stop. He falls to 6th. And then about everyone else in the same position they entered. As we are under caution here for the first time tonight, we're going to cut to commercial break. And we will be right back.
I'm Jonathan Proper, CEO of Drops.com, and I'm here to give you the naked truth about laundry. Size does not matter when it comes to laundry. Let's start with jugs. It's big all right, messy too, and expensive. You know why? Lots of plastic, lots of water, shipped all over the country, from factory to warehouse to retailer. That's what you're paying for. It's a dinosaur, and we all know dinosaurs are extinct. Meet our imitators. This is your average detergent pod. It has 20+ chemicals with names nobody can pronounce. Nice colors. I hope they don't stain. I know color doesn't clean. Would you take a bath in either of these? No way. That's why we developed Drops. Drops is dye-free, MPE-free, phosphate-free, animal cruelty-free. So free, it's freaking awesome. We make Drops with only 6 safe ingredients, certified by the EPA. Drops is tough on dirt, but gentle enough for a baby's skin. It's so gentle, I'm taking a bath in it. Doing laundry with Drops is hard to up. 1 drop equals 1 load. Now, can we talk about my package? 100% recyclable. Manufacturing Drops ourselves and distributing directly helps us cut out the middleman and reduce transportation costs. With delivery plans as low as $4 a month, the average family can save $100 a year. Hello? What are you saying? The cleanest clothes at the lowest price? You're damn right it's a great deal. Thanks for calling. Shipping is always free. You choose the product and plan that's right for you, and we'll drop Drops at your door. The naked truth is that Drops makes laundry better and life easier. Every Drops counts, saving money, plastic, water, and time. So go to Drops.com. The first one's on us.
As we continue to work under yellow flag, pace car lights do go off. So we will be going green this time by. Drivers with fresh tires and a short stint to the end of the stage here. Yusuf Ghali in control on this restart, but drivers in need of points making up positions here in the top 5. Actually, the top 4 all could use some stage points, and they'll look to hang on to some positions here and try and steal away a stage win. As we roll through turns 3 and 4, the 54 elects that bottom lane. Adam Cabot on the outside. We'll see if he can time this well. And we are underway. The 54 of Ghali, a good restart. He goes all the way out to the wall. He actually rubbed the wall, headed into turn number 1, and Cabot now 2 car lengths behind him as they dive through turns 1 and 2 onto the back straightaway. 77 of Cabot going to look to try and close that gap as they battle for third between Dylan Parker and Alec Martinez, and the whole field side by side behind them. Oh, Conor Horn, big slide out of turn number 4. There goes Elliott Butler on the inside. He'll take away 6th position. And on the outside, here comes Eric Hutton in the 88. A good run out of turn number 2. He'll be right alongside Conor, as behind them, AJ Stravato battling it up with Chris Simard. Simard up into the top 10. Stravato in 9th. A good restart for Simard. He made up quite a few spots. Oh, Eric Hutton, I think, bouncing off the wall right there. It'll be 10 laps to go in the stage next time by, and you want to set yourself up well for the remainder of the race, as Adam Cabot really charging hard. He's 2.5 car lengths behind the 54. As they go through 3 and 4, Alec Martinez a bit behind them. He's got speed, and he showed that he had the long run speed. Very well may be the card to beat here in the second half of this race. And Eli Hinton, who lost quite a few spots on the pit stop, he's up to 4th now. And trying to get in behind the 18. Not quite there. And Elliott Butler trying to deny a stage point to Conor Horn, and Conor actually is in 7th and Elliott in 6th. So Dylan Parker hanging on to the 5th position, that final stage point. And Eli Hinton trying to take one away from Alec Martinez as the battle for the lead is on. Here is Adam Cabot, so good on the short run. 1 car length the difference. Caution on the racetrack. Looks like it's the 37 of Simard in the inside wall. Heavy front end damage. Let's see what happened to Chris here to bring out caution number 2. Got to go back a little bit farther here. He was racing up with Stravato, the 33. Not a great run through 1 and 2. He got really loose, and Simard went to the inside, goes down to the dog leg, kind of comes up the racetrack a little soon, or maybe didn't expect Stravato to be there. We saw something like this happen to Chris at Bristol, where the car on the outside kind of came into him, came into the right front and spun him out. This one, he actually didn't make as hard a contact as I had thought, but definitely still some damage on that race car. He did a good job keeping his foot on the throttle, pointing it somewhat in the right direction, and then hitting it with the right, or the left front rather. Not too seriously, but not going to be too happy about that after making up so many positions on the restart. So he'll bring it down the pit lane. Looks like your top 5 going to remain on the racetrack. And Eric Hutton going to take 2 tires. Jeff Wright also taking 2 tires. And everyone else going to take 4 tires on this pit stop. And Yusuf Ghali going to be in control of the restart once again. It looked like Adam Cabot was getting there. And now he's going to have to try and do it again. Try and get a better restart than last time so he doesn't have to make up the 2 or 3 car lengths that he was going to have to before. But working under quick yellow here, we want to encourage you to consider following or subscribing if you haven't already. It really helps us out a lot on the channel here. And you can also link your Amazon Prime account to Twitch and utilize a free Twitch Prime subscription each and every month. You can use that here on VSpeed or any other channel, and we would really appreciate it. We want to thank everyone who's followed and subscribed over the last couple of months. It's been fantastic, the support that we've gotten from you guys, and want to thank you for being out here once again tonight. We do want to give a shout out to our sponsors as well while we're under the caution. That is drops.com. We showed the ad earlier. You can check those guys out and save 15% on the purchase using drops15. And the link, our affiliate link, is in the chat as well. And every purchase there gives us a small portion of the purchase, which helps us to continue to bring you great content here on Twitch. We also want to give a shout out to the guys at the NASCAR Brawl podcast. Really enjoyed working with them and excited to see where they're going. They have some great podcasts already out and some coming out soon. They've got some good interviews already with Steve Post in their first episode as a podcast, and then also they had late model driver who ran in the final race at Myrtle Beach Speedway the other week. So that's pretty cool that he was on there, and they've got some other high-profile guests. So check those guys out, Apple Podcasts and Spotify, as well as the other podcasts on the Brawl Network, which are it's a network of smaller podcasts, really, and very passionate content creators, passionate about the teams that they're reporting on, and you could find Brawl podcasts for basically any NFL team, as well as other major League sports or college sports. So check out the Brawl Network. You can find those guys at the link in the chat here. And we also broadcast the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series on Thursdays. We'll be there or with them tomorrow night at Bristol Motor Speedway. It'll be a fun race. Probably going to be a nearly full field, though pretty chaotic at that racetrack that we refer to as the last great Coliseum. As pace car going to roll off, going to be just a few laps. Yusuf Ghali gets him going, good restart, and Conor Horn up to third, looking to attack on second place Cabot, but not going to be able to do so as the 77, a good run down into turn 1. He's going to remain just a couple car lengths behind the 54, and here comes the 42 now, looking low in the dog leg, not able to get alongside. But Yusuf Ghali going to be under pressure here, just a couple laps in the stage. And can the drivers on 2 tires make anything happen? As Eric Hutton goes to the outside, he goes into 5th. And behind him, Jeff Wright on 2 tires as well. He's moving forward. So that could be a good call as Adam Cabot now under pressure from Conor Horn. That battle really developing as Conor, good run down into turn 3. He's going to be right alongside. 77 going to roll right along his right side door. And down the front straightaway, it'll be the end of the stage next time by. And 77 trying to hang on and get as many stage points as he can here, but Conor Horn, who's charged through the field like he's done each and every week, fighting for that second spot. It looks like Ghali gonna win the stage. He so desperately needs to do that. He also really needs to win the race as Conor Horn, little slide out of the corner there, coming towards the start-finish line. Not sure who's gonna have it. It looks like Conor Horn going to finish second, and Adam Cabot losing out by just a tiny amount there. As we go to our stage results, Yusuf Ghali taking away the stage win. 1 playoff point, not really going to matter for him. He's looking for normal bonus points as well as a win here tonight. He needs every point he can get, coming in well below the cutoff line. Conor Horn second, Adam Cabot third. AJ Stravato finds his way into the top 5, earning some stage points. And Jeff Wright also finding a point there in the 5th position. So a few cautions in rapid succession here after a nice long green flag run. We'll see what the drivers do. If they elect to pit or if they elect to stay out once again. There's only a handful more green flag laps on the tires. I'm not sure what they're going to do. As the 54 of Ghali going to bring him in. Here comes Conor Horn, Adam Cabot, AJ Stravato, Jeff Wright going to stay on the racetrack along with others. Alec Martinez, looks like Blaze McKinney, as well as Elliott Butler, Eli Hinton, and Chris Samard going to remain on the racetrack. So we're going to go quickly to another commercial break, hear from our friends at the Brawl Network and our other sponsors and friends, and we will be right back with the green flag.
Introducing the Brawl Network. The Brawl Network brings your favorite team's news and opinions in an unfiltered, educated, and entertaining way. Enough of the mainstream media's bias, filtered, reiterative news. Our reporters are fans of the teams they cover, as opposed to most major reporters. While some may feel it is good to get unbiased takes, it results in negative bias, passionless articles, and boring podcasts and radio. The Brawl Network changes the game by reporting the same news as the mainstream media, but with passion, in-depth knowledge of the teams, and in an entertaining way. We use our connections to bring you behind-the-scenes information and perspectives daily. Brawl is a way of life here. For our listeners and contributors, we hear all opinions, voices, ideas, thoughts, and hot takes. The Brawl Network is where your voice is heard, and you can hear your voice. Also, check out NASCAR Brawl, the newest Brawl podcast focusing on all the newest NASCAR and motorsports news from across the industry. We're proud to bring you the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series, sponsored by this podcast and partnered with V-Speed. Watch weekly on Wednesdays at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Twitch at VSpeedSyn. Check out the Brawl Network at thebrawlnetwork.com and on Twitter at Network Brawl, and the NASCAR Brawl podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify with new episodes coming soon.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Pace car lights are still on, so we're still working under the yellow flag, but I want to give you an update on the point situation once again as they came into tonight's race. Conor Horn, Vincent Arthur have advanced based on their wins in the round, and Alec Martinez and Dylan Parker came in above the cut line. That's the margin coming in, 15 and 5 points. And then Adam Cabot, 5 points back. AJ Stravato, 12. As well as Jeff Wright, 12 back, and some of those drivers doing some good work there in the stage to earn a few points and help out with that margin. Yusuf Ghali specifically earning the 5 bonus points and the stage win, but he'll be restarting a little bit farther back in the 9th position. So he has some work to do here to get back to the front. He's already driven through the field, or through about half the field already. Let's see if he can do it again here and try and earn that win to lock himself in the next round, which is really his only chance of doing so. And Adam Cabot and a handful of other drivers electing to stay out here. Actually, the top 8 all stayed out. Some of those drivers pitted on the previous caution. And Cabot, the only one who did not do that, as green flag back in the air. Cabot gets him going. Good restart by Jeff Wright, who took 2 tires on the previous pit stop. And he charged up a few positions there during the green flag run. He's all over the back bumper of Cabot as they head down into the corner. And good run out of turn 4. He'll get alongside Adam Cabot, the 77. Here's Alec Martinez as well. He pitted under the previous yellow, taking 4 tires. Didn't pit under this last one. As the 77 of Cabot trying as hard as he can to hold off the 48, but Jeff Wright on those 2 tires. A little bit more stability as the 77 Big Wiggle. He still leads the field, but he's only got about a fender out in front of the 48 across the start-finish line. Martinez backing up a little bit. We saw him do that on the first green flag run. And here comes Yusuf Ghali. He's restarted 9th. He's already up to 6th. And he's going to the inside looking to take away 5th position from Elliott Butler. And it looks like he will do so there coming out of turn number 4. He sets his sights on Blaze McKinney and other drivers who stayed out during the last yellow. We saw the 54 so aggressive on the initial few laps of this race. Diving down into turn 1 there as Cabot continues to fight back against Jeff Wright. The 48 had the lead at the line. Eventually that outside line is going to start to become the defensive line, and he's going to be able to take that away. His big wiggle from both of them, but Jeff Wright, a big run down the front straightaway. He takes that lap once again. Cabot going to have to put the foot down as quickly as he can here if he wants any shot of hanging on to the lead. And the 48 of Wright, a big run down the back straightaway. Cabot sends it into turn 3. And they remain side by side, the 77 and the 48. And it looks like Jeff Wright going to finally win the battle. Here comes Yusuf Ghali into 3rd. He passes Alec Martinez and Blaze McKinney to get there. And he is about a car length behind Cabot as the 48 nearly brushes the wall. Jeff Wright, who was not having a good initial run here, finally showing some speed. As we've got some battling a bit farther back. Eric Hutton took 2 tires on the last pit stop, as well as it looks like Bailey Turner also took 2 tires, and they are backing up Hutton into 9th. I believe he restarted around, actually I think he restarted around the same position, but Bailey Turner restarted behind him, and he is not going the right direction. As the 4 of Angelo Veronis and the 8 of Jeremiah Vincent battling it out. And a second position changing hands as well, as there goes Yusuf Ghali past the 77. And he has one more spot to go to get back to where he was at the end of the stage. A great drive early on here in the final stage. Oh, big slide there from Jeff Wright. He's on those 2 tires from 2 cautions ago, and the 54 closing up rapidly that time by nearly, actually over 0.2 of a second faster. And the 48 just a sitting duck right now, as that 54 absolutely on a mission here to win this race. And it would be quite the upset, even though Yusuf with a great season, he's not had the best playoff run, barely eking his way into this last round. As they are battling it out side by side a bit farther back. We'll wait until this lead battle changes hands here. The 54 finally going to take the run down the inside. Jeff Wright shoves him all the way down. across the dog leg in the 54 now. Probably going to be easy pickings here, but I think the 48 going to fight back as hard as he can. They remain side by side across the start-finish line. I believe Galley led that lap. He did. At 54, hooking the yellow line. He's going to drive on past here. Not able to clear him just yet, but I think it'll be all said and done here down in 3 and 4. Looks like he makes the pass. So Yusuf Ghali back to the lead. So we've got battles developing farther back. Dylan Parker, who needs a good run here as well. He's underneath the 6th of Elliott Butler. And Keith Mayato back there battling it out with Jeremiah Vincent. That is just outside the top 10 in 12th and 13th position. And welcome, Blaze Pete. Thanks for joining. As drivers starting to figure it out, get single file here, and Conor Horn, who had charged up through the field, he's got right front damage now, pretty significant right side damage actually in general, and he's back here in 14th position. We'll see if he can march forward again, as he was up there and actually took second away at the end of the stage, stealing a point away from Adam Cabot. Sure, the Magic Man fan club not too happy about that, knowing that Cabot needs every point he can get, especially with Yusuf Ghali leading this race. He would be set to advance, and then Alec Martinez has a 10-point margin on Cabot. He made up a little bit of that ground at the end of the stage, but right now he's only one position in front of him. It's not going to be enough to advance the way they run. Vincent Arthur looking to make a pass a bit farther back. Here comes Blaze McKinney. He made the run, but not able to make it stick down there. Keith Mayato looking to take it almost 3 wide underneath Bailey Turner and Eric Hutton, the 2 tire takers. But no room to work just yet for the 36. Let's settle into 12th right now as they continue to fight it out for 10th and 11th in front of him. Cabot, who's fallen into the clutches now of Alec Martinez, is going to have to figure something out. He's doing a great job being on 38-lap-old tires. He's still up here in 3rd as Blaze McKinney going to make a move once again. Here comes Dylan Parker as well, making the pass on Eli Hinton, or trying to. Dylan having a good run here. He comes in above the cut line. And actually, I had that wrong. Dylan was the one 10 points behind Alec. And Adam Cabot was quite a distance farther back in points. So he's going to have to hope for something to go wrong with the 18 machine. But Alec very solid here tonight. He started on the pole. He's shown speed, especially on the long run. And right now, Yusuf Ghali actually dropping back to the 48 of Jeff Wright. So I'm not sure if Yusuf just burned those tires up, climbing from 9th to the lead. But he is not pulled away. And Jeff Wright, who's on older, very old left sides, and 31 lap old right sides, staying right there with him, so kind of a surprise, as Yusuf was one of the fastest cars in the early stint of this race, and the 48 was one of the slower cars in the early laps. They've kind of equalized here. Battle a bit farther back. Mayato, who's been runner-up the last couple of races, he finds his way to the inside of Eric Hutton, trying to take away the 11th position, and Conor Horn has gone to the back bumper there. Big wiggle from Vincent Arthur. He'll lose the spot to AJ Stravato. And Stravato not having the run that he needs in this race. He did get a couple points there in the stage, but he's going to need a lot more than that the way that they run. While at the front, Jeff Wright putting pressure on the 54 of Yusuf Ghali. I did not see this happening, and he's looking for points. He's looking for a win. He needs that win to advance, and he knows if he takes that away, he's locked in. The 54 has no shot at a championship. We'll see if Yusuf was saving a little bit, knowing that the cars behind him are on older tires, and he's just waiting to stretch that gap out. I think they may have to make one more pit stop, running a 70% fuel load here. As battle just inside the top 10, Bailey Turner, Angelo Ronis, and Keith Mayato right there in 11th, under pressure from Conor Horn. He's looking for a way around the 24. He's been stuck behind him for a little bit here, as Bailey making a 2-tire stop work. He's actually made up a couple spots here the last handful of laps, as now Mayato has the 42 of Horn on the outside. Conor, once again that damage, but starting to make up ground as he tags the wall right there out of turn 2. The back end doing a bit of a tank slapper there. At the front, the top 2 have driven away. Adam Cabot doing a fantastic job of holding on to 3rd, with Martinez right all over the back tailgate. But everybody's single file here except for, looks like Mayato. They're still trying to fight off Conor Horn, the 42, looking for a way to get to the inside, and the 36 able to slide to the inside of the 4. Conor drifted up the racetrack quite a bit. That could have been a bad situation. The 4, a big wiggle there. Mayato gonna carry speed down low. He'll complete the pass, I believe, this end of the racetrack. Perhaps not. The 4 fighting back on the outside. But wiggling like that's gonna surely heat the tires up quite a bit. It'll really hurt some of these drivers on the long run. As Mayato now completes the pass, I believe. Yep, he has pulled out in front. Ronis going to be in the clutches of Conor Horn. Now they go side by side. Mayato moves into the 10th position. And Alec Martinez was able to slip on into 3rd. He passes up Adam Cabot. And the 77 dropping to 4th now. Not what he needs. Behind him, Blaze McKinney, who we have not seen it run in the league here, at least on the broadcast. He's having a great run as he tags the wall as I'm speaking about him. Right behind him, Dylan Parker did the same exact thing. They both caught the wall. Just a little rub, and the 13 of Eli Hinton all over the back bumper. Although he goes to the pit lane. So Eli brings it down. Not sure if that was... It looks like it was intentional. He really came in hot, locked it down big time. So he's the first one to blink and bring it into his box here. We'll see what kind of a stop he gets. And lap times have fallen off by about 1.5 seconds a lap. And it looks like we've got a few other drivers coming in. That is the 87 of Blaze McKinney, the 5 Vincent Arthur, the 9 of Dylan Parker, the 1 of Taylor Butcher Benjamin. We haven't talked about him much this race, but he's also going to elect to bring it in here in short pit, try and make up some ground. He hasn't had the best start to this race. Meanwhile, Yusuf Ghali, Jeff Wright, Alec Martinez all staying out on the racetrack as the top 11 have yet to pit. Everyone else is bringing it on. Adam Cabot, Elliott Butler, AJ Stravato all on the pit lane with just under 40 to go. How is this going to work out, and will it pay off to stay out here? And how long does Yusuf Ghali wait, knowing he's got a bit of an advantage on the field? He's still putting down some pretty quick lap times, some of the fastest. Alec Martinez just a little bit faster last time by. And Eric Hutton brings it in now. Following with the leader, they're going to stay out. And Chris Samard going to bring it in now, the 37 machine. He's gotten the damage repaired on that race car. Still a little bit of a crinkle in the left and right front, but team did a good job repairing that, it appears. That leaves 9 drivers on the racetrack yet to pit. And all these drivers making their stop. They are going to go a lap down, as it looks like Jeff Wright going to bring it in. First of the top 3. And here comes Elliot Carlson as well, the 09. Leaving 7 on the racetrack. Trying to keep an eye on the leader here. And this is when he makes his move. Can't make any mistakes here as he comes in really hot. Able to slow it up at the line. Alec Martinez is going to remain on the racetrack. But let's see who else. Conor Horn also coming down. Yusuf Ghali, at least 5 on the track. And Alec Martinez, Bailey Turner, Keith Mayato, Angelo Horonis, and Jeremiah Vincent. Yes, here comes Martinez. Bailey Turner back here. It's going to stay out. Keith Mayato going to bring it in this time. And here comes Angelo Ronis in the 4 machine. Jeremiah Vincent. And Bailey Turner, the only driver staying out. And I think they can go a little bit farther. And they can keep this field all lapped down. Actually, it looks like Lyle Sulfridge also staying on the racetrack. He has yet to pit. The way things are cycling out, it's looking like Adam Cabot going to be your leader. He was the one of the first drivers to pit 5 laps ago. And Bailey Turner trying to slow it down. Yeah, top 3 remaining on the racetrack. Adam Cabot back on the lead lap, along with the rest of the top 9. And Yusuf Ghali going from the lead before the pit cycle. He's now in 9th. 3 drivers left to pit, but that'll bring him 6th when everything gets cycled through. And he makes a pass on Dylan Parker, actually, so he'll go to 8th now. But right now, Adam Cabot, your net leader. He's got Jeff Wright charging behind him on slightly fresher tires, and he's quite a bit faster, actually 4/10 faster that last time by. So Jeff Wright, a good pit sequence. He took 2 tires, and so did Adam Cabot, along with Elliot Butler. They all took 2 tires, but Butler under pressure from Yusuf Ghali. And Yusuf the fastest on the racetrack, not a surprise. So he goes to the inside now. But still waiting for Bailey Turner, Jeremiah Vincent, and Lyle Sulfridge to make it onto the pit lane. See him there, Jeremiah getting passed up by Keith Mayato, Taylor Butcher Benjamin. Bailey staying on the racetrack along with Jeremiah and Lyle. Cabot still holding on to the net lead, but he's got the 48 now, 1 car length back, half a car length as they go through 3 and 4. And lurking in the distance, a very quick Yusuf Ghali running about 4 to 6/10 faster a lap than these 2. He has closed up the margin significantly, now under 2 seconds behind Adam Cabot. And here comes the 48, going to take a peek down low, gets a good run, but not going to get there. And the more these 2 battle, the quicker the 54 will arrive. So I know Cabot needs the win as he gets a big slide out of the corner. just able to hang on to it. That allows the 48 to the outside. What a bit of driving there to hang on to it. That car was dead sideways. As Lyle Sulfridge brings it onto the pit lane. They battle it out here for the net lead, but that 54 closing in more and more. Cabot, a big slide into the corner. The 48 gets back to the throttle. And he'll take the spot away. Cabot gonna fall in behind him. Here comes Yusuf Ghali now, just about 10 car lengths back. Through 1 and 2, so much quicker, so much more secure on the 4 tires. As Bailey Turner on the pit lane. Jeremiah Vincent remains on the racetrack. He will lead a lap. And the top 16 back on the lead lap here. About to be the top 17. Now the battle for second in the pit cycle. Changing hands. There goes the 54 of Ghali, who sees his ticket to the championship right there in front of him in Jeff Wright, the 48. And just under 25 to go. Jeremiah Vincent still your leader. But when does he bring it onto the pit lane? He's been out there for 56 laps, and he's running just about a second a lap slower than everyone else. Actually, that time just about 7/10, so a little bit better. And I don't think he can stay out there the whole time, but it may be possible. And could Jeremiah Vincent steal this win away and prevent those drivers below the cut line from walking their way in? As now the battle, Yusuf Ghali to the outside of the 48 of Jeff Wright. Down through the dog leg. The 54 is going to take the spot away on the outside. And Yusuf Ghali needs to win to get in, and he's doing what he needs to right now. The 48, a big slide. That margin now opens back up to 4/10, and that 54 is going to be gone for sure. Another driver on the move, fresher tires. Alec Martinez, he's about 4 seconds back from Yusuf and running about the same lap times while making passes. So we'll see if Alec is going to be able to get there. I think it's too much of a margin. He pitted the lap after. He actually lost about 3 seconds to Yusuf through the pit cycle. The gap from Jeremiah Vincent to Yusuf Ghali now just 10.6 seconds, and at the rate that Yusuf is driving, it would be a lead change here in about 10 laps. Jeremiah is going to have to think about pitting at some point, unless he's planning on staying out. I think he might actually be able to improve his finishing position by doing so, but I just don't know if he's going to have the fuel with 60 laps on this stint for him already. And that time by 28:44 to Yusuf Ghali's, we'll see here, 27:65, so about 8/10 the difference. That would be more than enough. But the times will start to equalize a bit more over the next 10 laps or so, and perhaps Jeremiah can stay out in front. Maybe he's babied the car enough and saved the fuel. Maybe he can deny Yusuf Ghali from locking himself in. What a play that would be. Not that Jeremiah can advance. He's already been knocked out of the playoffs. Now let's take a look at Alec Martinez. He's still about 5 seconds behind Yusuf. So his chance to go up there and win the race is probably gone out the window, but he can at least bypass Adam Cabot and Jeff Wright, who are only just a couple seconds up the road. And he's still running the fastest times on the racetrack. Cabot about 6/10 slower than him last lap, so that's going to change position in just a lap or two. Conor Horn also running some quick lap times. He's back in 7th now. Good run. And And Dylan Parker, who was right above the cut line in the race, or coming into the race, he's seeing his chance to fight for the championship disappear. Just not had the speed here in the second half of this race. After such a good opening sequence and qualifying right up there on the front row, he gets bypassed now by Keith Mayato. And his closest competitor in points, Alec Martinez, up there 5 spots in front of him, and outperformed him in the stage as well. So that's not gonna, there's no chance unless he can win this race at this point. And Jeremiah Vincent, that gap now just 6.4 seconds with 15 laps to go. Can he figure out a way to hang on to it? 0.6 slower last time by. And just doing the math, it still would be enough for Yusuf Ghali. But let's see, this time Yusuf about 0.7 faster. So Jeremiah probably going to have to start saving a little bit of fuel here. He's gone 66 laps with a caution or so in there. But definitely a bold strategy call. He continues to lead here with less than 15 to go. And that time by a 28.67 to a 27.88. So about 0.8 that time. Yusuf still putting laps down as fast as anybody, actually fastest on the racetrack. Even though he does not have the freshest tires, he's still fastest on the racetrack. That margin down to 4.2 seconds here. And Jeremiah Vincent now brings it into the pit lane. That's going to hand the lead over. Yusuf Ghali with a huge lead over Jeff Wright, 3.2 seconds. And just about 12 to go. Things could change in an instant with a caution coming out. But everybody pretty spaced out right now. The only battle I can see is between Keith Mayato and Eli Hinton for 6th and 7th, and Keith going to take that spot away. No contest. But it is possible somebody spins out. We've seen drivers be very loose, like Eric Hutton right there, and Chris Simard all over his back bumper. Pretty solid job for Chris to get that damage repaired, as now he looks to the inside. They're both trying to put power down, but don't have the grip to do it. And looking for any other battles on the racetrack. Looks like Bailey Turner going to go to the inside of Eli Hinton, and Eli was very strong. He went up and led laps in this race. He led 5 laps early on, and he lost the lead and has not had the speed to get back up there, but still a good solid run here in the top 10 for the number 13 machine. I'm sure he'll be happy to come away with that. As Keith Mayato closing in on Conor Horn, that's 5th and 6th. Keith getting a lap later than Conor. And Conor's been very aggressive with the way he's driven that car tonight. Got that right side damage and definitely slowing him down, as Keith now closes in about a half car length. The top 2 from last week battling it out for a top 5 here tonight. As, oh, that looked almost like contact back there. That's Vincent Arthur and Dylan Parker making contact. Ooh, that could have been a close call right there. As they continue to fight it out, Vincent Arthur putting pressure all over the back bumper of Dylan Parker. As they continue to race it out, the 5 machine all over the door. He gets sideways, still hanging on to it, and just a handful of laps to go. What would it mean for a caution to come out here for Yusuf Ghali? He'd be in trouble in terms of strategy if it came down to any kind of a green-white checkered, because he would either have to stay out and be completely sitting duck, and caution on the racetrack. the 9 of Parker around. I think it was probably contact, as he has a destroyed race car. His chances completely up in smoke. Let's see what happened here. He was battling it out with Vincent Arthur, the 5 machine. And they had already made some contact and racing hard here late in the going. Dylan Parker goes into turn 3. Vincent Arthur dives it down in there. And he just gets into the back quarter panel. And then we lost Dylan. It looks like that car, maybe some connection problems. I really don't know what happened. We lost him right there as the car goes around. Maybe just a glitch in iRacing. Not really sure, but what does this mean for Yusuf Ghali? Does he pit? Does he stay out? He's going to bring it in. It looks like everybody else. No, Jeff Wright going to stay on the racetrack. Adam Cabot, Keith Mayato, Bailey Turner, Elliott Butler, and perhaps Lyle Sulfridge as well. Lyle is actually a lap down, but this plays right into the hands of the 48 and the 77, who can lock themselves in with a win. And dramatic ending coming up to this race. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. Pace car lights are still on, waiting for those to go off. A win and you're in this race. That's how the playoffs work. And right now it's on for Adam Cabot and Jeff Wright, who both come in below the cut line as they run on points. I believe it would be Alec Martinez and Adam Cabot making it in, but Jeff Wright could throw a wrench in the plans. He took 2 tires during the last round of pit stops, but he's got 36 laps on those tires, and I think you might even have more than that on the left sides. So does the 48 have what he needs to hold off the 77? Both of those cars have been pretty even. Cabot on slightly older tires. He took 2 tires as well. And Keith Mayato up in the mix. He's got fresher tires than both of them, and he's on 4. And then Bailey Turner, who took 2. Elliott Butler took 2. And then Vincent Arthur, first driver on fresher tires, he took 2. And Yusuf Ghali going to restart in 7th after leading and looking like he was on his way to a huge win. He's got some work to do here. It'll be a green-white checkered. He's got 2 laps to go from 7th to the lead, and you know he's going to be driving very upset. It's his only chance to advance with a win. And I think if he had stayed out, everybody would have pitted. The only chance for the top 2 to advance, well, actually the only chance for Jeff Wright to advance is to win here. If he does not win, he won't move on the way that they run. Pace car rolls off onto pit lane, waiting for the green flag. Jeff Wright in control. He gets him going here. An even restart. Adam Cabot, good job on the outside lane. Here comes Yusuf Ghali, already making it 3 wide as they go down into the corner 2 by 2. Keith Mayato back there fighting with Bailey Turner. It's Cabot on the outside trying to make something happen. Here comes Yusuf Ghali, 3 wide to the inside of Keith Mayato. And he's up to 3rd already. The top 2 sliding up the racetrack. Here comes Yusuf right to the back bumper of the 48. He gives him a tap. Big slide. White flag in the air. The top 4, Alec Martinez up in the mix now. Oh, and the 48 goes around. The 77 around. Their championship hopes up in smoke. The leader, Yusuf Ghali, showing the way now. He's got the car back out in front. Alec Martinez, who's also going to advance if he finishes where he runs, in 2nd right now. Yusuf Ghali, he's gonna do it. He comes from 7th to win on the green white checkered cars, flipping across the line, but Yusuf Ghali doesn't care. That car is going to the championship fight next week at Chicagoland, along with 2nd place finisher Alec Martinez. What an incredible finish. What a wild sequence. As Yusuf Ghali takes away the win, what a charge on those fresh tires. He was determined to win, and he was not going to let anything stop him. Let's go back to the winning moment of this race as they headed down into turn 1 there. And I didn't see if they made contact. I was just looking at the timing and scoring. But the 54, he sent it in there. He did hit the 48. That's what knocked him out of the way. And the 54 doing all it takes to win. He knocked away the top 2. Adam Cabot's chances gone in an instant. And Alec Martinez, Yusuf Ghali came through 1st and 2nd. What a crazy finish. And then Stravato went around. Let's see if we can catch that. He was racing up with Eli Hinton. They got loose. He goes around the 4. Veronis was already sliding. He flips. Keith Mayato involved. And a lot of other drivers making contact with the wall. Luckily, they're able to drive away, but Yusuf Ghali, he hangs on. And he is going to be your winner here tonight, so congratulations to Yusuf Ghali. He is going to be advancing. And we'll see if there's any kind of penalties for that, but I think it's boys have at it at that point, and Yusuf coming from 7th, he put the car where he needed to, and that's how he got the win. So we're going to wait just a moment for these guys to get themselves collected, ready to go for their interviews, and thank you for the follow, RG Dinked. Appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for supporting us here. And if you enjoyed the race tonight, we encourage you to go check us out on all these different social media platforms and get involved, follow along with us wherever you'd like. And looks like we're having an issue with our overlay here. So give me 1 second. Let's just get this a little bit fixed back up. But big congratulations to Yusuf Ghali. Yeah, check us out on all those different platforms. You can find race replays on YouTube. You can find all the race announcements on Facebook and Twitter. You can also follow us on Instagram, where we post some of our graphic design work, just general design work, paint schemes, all that kind of stuff. Check us out on that platform as well. And we're not going to have the overlay working here for just a moment. We'll have to get that back up in a second to go through the full field rundown. But let's see if we can get these guys up in the booth. It looks like they are not up in here yet. So we're going to cut to commercial break, actually, and we will be right back with the post-race interviews. You won't want to go anywhere. You're going to want to hear what we have to ask to the 54 of Yusuf Ghali, your winner here tonight. So we will be right back.
Introducing the Brawl Network. The Brawl Network brings your favorite team's news and opinions in an unfiltered, educated, and entertaining way. Enough of the mainstream media's bias, filtered, reiterative news. Our reporters are fans of the teams they cover, as opposed to most major reporters. While some may feel it is good to get unbiased takes, it results in negative bias, passionless articles, and boring podcasts and radio. The Brawl Network changes the game by reporting the same news as the mainstream media, but with passion, in-depth knowledge of the teams, and in an entertaining way. We use our connections to bring you behind-the-scenes information and perspectives daily. Brawl is a way of life here. For our listeners and contributors, we hear all opinions, voices, ideas, thoughts, and hot takes. The Brawl Network is where your voice is heard, and you can hear your voice. Also check out NASCAR Brawl, the newest Brawl podcast focusing on all the newest NASCAR and motorsports news from across the industry. We're proud to bring you the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series sponsored by this podcast and partnered with V-Speed. Watch weekly on Wednesdays at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Twitch at V-Speed Sim. Check out the Brawl Network at thebrawlnetwork.com and on Twitter at Network Brawl, and the NASCAR Brawl podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify with new episodes coming soon.
All right, and we got things back up and running here so you can see what these guys' statistics were throughout the race. But we're going to be bringing up our race winner here tonight, Yusuf Ghali. This is Adam, the V-Speed booth. You have a copy.
A copy.
Well, Yusuf, it looks like you did about everything you had to do to win there, but you had this thing locked up with the late caution that came out. What was that decision like coming to pit road and taking those 4 fresh tires?
I figured that we had 40-something laps on the tire, so everyone was going to come in. I thought some people might have been taking 2 or so, and that would bring me back to back. I didn't expect anyone to stay out, so that was a little bit surprising. And I mean, yeah, so I just came in, got the fresh tires, and we did the restart.
Yeah, and it's definitely wild when it comes down to those late race, the green-white checkers and the differing strategies. You definitely had the quickest car out here tonight. Especially during that long green flag run with the pit cycle. You had pulled out to basically a 4-second lead after everything cycled through. How was the car handling for you overall, and what were you doing around this place to keep the tires underneath you?
Really love Phoenix as a track. It's just, I feel like it fits what I do a lot. So I knew I was going to be decent here. I didn't know if I was going to be better than like Conor and Alec or Adam. So that was a little bit of a surprise. So did everything we could to make it into the Final Four, and I guess we did.
Yes, sir. You win and you advance. It was your only chance coming in here tonight. You were really deep in the points. You got the stage win, which helped a lot, but I think you were still going to have to win, and you did so. What kind of relief is that? How excited are you to go on and race in Chicago next week?
Relief on one hand, but on the other hand, I really didn't want to cause that last wreck at the end. I just misjudged the braking because I didn't know what the 40 lap tires would be like compared to the new ones, I guess. And I cleaned Jeff out there by accident, so if he's watching, I just want to apologize to him and Adam. Really didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, and that's just kind of the nature of the way things happen. So quickly at these shorter, flatter tracks, especially with the tires as different as they were, and you had the car to beat. And, it ended up still working out that way. And you had Alec and Eli, coming home there behind you. So a heck of a job for your team. you got the victory here tonight, leading 51 laps, and you charged from mid-pack multiple times in this race to go back up there and lead the way. So congrats on the win. Congrats on advancing, and we look forward to seeing what you can do if you can go home and win this championship at Chicago next week. But anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go celebrate?
I'd like to give a shout out to my 2 teammates, Alec and Eli, for being really cooperative there on the restarts and throughout the race. Also like to thank Ryan Sheldon for giving me the passion to go out here and win this race and potentially the championship next week.
Yes, sir, Yusuf. Well, thanks for putting on a great show for us here tonight. It was very exciting, especially that ending. I think it worked out about how we expected it to. So congrats on the win. Great drive from yourself, and have a great night.
Thank you.
All right, that was Yusuf Gali, your race winner here tonight. We're going to bring up second place finisher, Mr. Alec Martinez. And we'll bring him up here in just a second. Alec Martinez, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
We do.
Well, Alec, you're on your way to the Championship 4 in Chicago. You had kind of an all-over-the-place race here tonight. Started on the pole, but didn't hold on to it for very long. Give us a rundown of how things went for you, how the car handled, and how you got back up there to finish second.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little interesting going on. Car setup was good. Setup was good. Adams did a good job on the setup. Phoenix is just not one of my tracks that, I didn't enjoy too much and don't fit my driving style. So, coming out with the P2 was pretty good. Hats off to Yusuf for winning the race. And Toyota Racing 123. It's good. It's what we like to see. But just a little interesting with that last lap. That's what happens with this playoff format. Stupid stuff like that's going to happen, and you just don't. Of course, I was expecting that from what Martinsville and Pocono happened. I don't know. It's just stupid formats will lead into stupid stuff, and then stupid things will stupid moves, just desperation moves were going to lead to wrecks. So but Yusuf was the fast car all day, so I mean he won. It was a good race, and I get what all the guys that stayed out were trying to do. They were playoff contenders. They were trying to hold their ground and try to get into a championship 4. So good thing I wasn't on the wrong side of the stick there and with the points. So kind of just was needing to finish the race and just hoping for a good finish and advancing to next week for Chicago.
Yes.
So so I think when we go into Chicago, I think we have a week off if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure though if we do or if we don't, but if we do, I think we come back with the build day or the day after build day, but I don't think so. So I could be wrong. I think it's next week.
It is the 2nd, so it'll be just next week. So not a whole lot of time to go back and put a ton of practice in, but hopefully you've been practicing already, knowing that you were probably well on your way with all the playoff points coming in. You definitely had that load off your shoulders, and you performed well. You were up in the top 5 all race long, and had a good showing here tonight. Definitely good momentum the last few weeks. So you come out of here starting on the pole. You finish on just one spot back in second. You lead 4 laps, and you advance to Chicagoland next week. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go celebrate?
Yeah, for you guys, doing the broadcast, Reggie, Mark, Jeremiah, and Elliot, for keeping this thing going, keeping this fun on Wednesday nights. Just keeping it fun, something fun to do on Wednesday nights. You guys for broadcasting, and all the viewers watching out there. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and hope we put on a good show for you every week. And hope you guys enjoyed the race today. And I think Chicago will be interesting. So that's about all I have to do on the shout outs there. So yeah.
Awesome, Alec. Well, congrats on P2, congrats on advancing, and we will catch you next week for the championship finale at Chicagoland.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, man. Hopefully we can go get it next week.
Yes, sir.
You never know.
Yes, sir. We'll see what you can do. Have a great night.
You too. Thank you, Adam.
All right, that was second place finisher Alec Martinez, excited to finish up there on the podium with his teammate, and we're going to go to third place finisher Eli Hinton now. Also for Toyota Racing, they sweep the podium here tonight. We'll bring him up to the booth. Eli Hinton, this is Adam, the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Eli, you had a bit of an up and down race. You had a great performance in those opening few laps. You actually went up, took the lead away, and then you lost it to, I believe it was Cabot and Yusuf. They were battling up there, and you kind of hung in the top three. Looked like you fell back a little ways, and you were starting to make up some ground late in the race. But give us a rundown how you felt you performed here tonight, and how you got back up on the podium.
Yeah, well, I can't save the tires to save my life. Like, it's bad. We kind of joke about it, how somehow my account has a multiplier on how tires wear out, but I just cannot save tires to save my life. But yeah, I kind of just ran, fifth, wherever eighth I ran all day. And then that caution at the end, which we weren't looking for Yusuf when he had such a big lead. But got that caution, all those guys stayed out to try to get Cabot to win, and I just kind of got lucky and sent to the middle and got up there. I just want to give a shout out to AJ Stramato. I mean, I wrecked him off a four there, and it was really, really stupid. Stupid move on my part. I really had no reason to push because I was going to pass him since he had old tires, but he's not that mad about it, which I really appreciate. Really cool guy, and I'll definitely give him some more room on the track next time we're racing near each other.
Yeah, it looked a bit like a racing incident, like you guys both got a bit loose, but definitely a little bit of a tank slapper there from you to him, and he got sent through the air, but he was not going to advance the way that things were running, so it was definitely unfortunate for him to come out of here like that, but you guys, I'm sure you've already said you worked it out to an extent and going to be respectful on the track, and we've seen that from you throughout the season, so definitely expect that. But you had a great performance here, and you said you couldn't save the tires, but you were up there in the mix when it mattered, and come out of here with a very strong third place finish on the podium with your teammates. We go to Chicago next week for the championship finale. What are your thoughts on going out there? You think you can somehow steal that race away?
Yeah, we'll see if I can do something. I mean, anything on a short run, I have a chance at. Just the long runs that are going to kill me. But short run, at the end, I have a shot. Really just looking to help my teammates out there and see if we can get Toyota racing a championship.
Yes, sir. And I'm looking at the chat in the broadcast right now. It looks like you did win, part of that prize for the cutoff race. So congrats on that. It looks like Alec also won some money. So big congrats to him. I don't think Yusuf had enough participation to qualify for the giveaway there, but congrats on the money. That's always fun, and congrats on P3 as well. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go celebrate?
Yusuf, Alec, and AJ Stramato. That money is going straight to him.
Yes, sir. Well, it's definitely fun to watch you here and see you have a good performance. Late in the season, and looking forward to what you can do next week at Chicago. So have a great night, and we will talk to you then.
Also, shout out to Bendy. I know you're watching, buddy.
There you go. Well, thanks, Eli, and have a great night. We will catch you next week.
Yep.
That was Eli hitting P3 tonight in the VRL second to last race here at Phoenix. And we're going to go through the rest of our results. A very chaotic finish. Definitely some drivers not so happy about this. Adam Cabot, Jeff Wright, I'm sure very frustrated with the way things worked out. And let's go to our results. Looks like perhaps we might have made a mistake there. And we're gonna actually, give me 1 second. It looks like the ticker's still not cooperating with us here at the end of this broadcast. Sorry about that, but this should be your finishing results here on the left side. Yusuf Ghali coming away with the win. Very controversial finish, but he does take that victory away. A hard charge in the last 2 laps, and he'll come away with the top spot and advancing to Chicago next week. Alec Martinez also going to advance with a P2. Their teammate Eli Hinton on the podium in 3rd. 4th place was Conor Horn. 5th was Vincent Arthur. 6th was Eric Hutton. 7th, AJ Stravato. 8th, Angelo Ronis. 9th was Keith Mayato. 10th, Elliot Carlson. 11th, gotta wait for it to renew load here, Chris Samard. 12th was Jeremiah Vincent. 13th, Taylor Butcher Benjamin. 14th, Jeff Wright, after getting turned late in the race. 15th, Bailey Turner. 16th, I believe, looking like Adam Cabot. 17th, Elliot Butler. 18th was Lyle Sulfridge. 19th was Lane Sulfridge. 20th was Dylan Parker, or Blaze McKinney. 21st, Dylan Parker. 22nd, William Troy. And 23rd was Benjamin Bafford, rounding out the field here tonight. We want to thank you so much for tuning in here on V-Speed. We'll be back tomorrow night with the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series live from Bristol for quite a long race. It's 283 laps. It's going to be a fun one with a pretty good sized field, so you won't want to miss that chaos at the last Great Coliseum. Going to be a lot of fun. You can also check out our YouTube channel at V-Speed Media, where we post race replays. You're going to be able to catch last week's race here with the Virtual Racing League up there as we upload that tonight, as well as all the previous races that we've broadcast from them and other series. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter, where we post race announcements before each and every broadcast. And you can also find us on Instagram at VSpeedSim, where we post race information, as well as new updates, graphic design, and so much more. So check us out on that account as well. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for following, subscribing. If you have here tonight, if you haven't, and you're so inclined, please consider doing so. It really does help us out a lot. And stick around for just a moment. We're going to see who we can raid as we will jump in with David Schildhaus, Mr. Schildhaus. So thank you so much for joining us here in this crazy race. We'll be back tomorrow night and also next week. You won't want to miss the finale right here on V-Speed. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.